Use kangaroo shoe cream for better results on all your leather wears. Kangaroo shoe cream is highly formulated quality shoe cream and is a new technology being used for the first time in Africa. Kangaroo shoe cream is available in different sizes and variants. It's waterproof, protects, and shines. Celebrating over 10 years of excellence in shoe and leather care. Kangaroo, jipatie mng'aro wa kipekee.
This is Auntie Trufena. Thank you so much for joining us. We are glad that you have tuned in. Auntie Trufena Show, this is where your heart will be repaired. And before we continue, please go to Facebook. You like our page, Auntie Trufena. You'll get more of your heart repaired. And we are very happy that you have joined us. Now, what can you do when the life doesn't give you what you want? And at times, when something unexpected happens to your life, especially in your prime, you want to continue with your education, but all of a sudden something has come up. Can you still continue with life? Is there any promise after that? Are you justified to say enough is enough and you give up? So today we are going to have our guest, who is a very important guest. He will tell us her story. It is very moving, but again it is very encouraging that we should continue despite all odds. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Maybe you can tell us your name and where you have come from briefly.
My name is Jen Tieno. Currently we live in Ngong, and my home is in Siaya County.
Bali hivyo?
Yeah. Okay. That's far. But that's where my dad comes from. My mom is a Taita, but apparently we grew up in Coast for 17 years. Then we came to Nairobi.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And so you are a Coast person in one way or the other.
I'm a Luo Costorian, something like that.
Okay.
Yes.
So maybe you can tell us your academic background, because it will be very important as we continue.
Okay, I started my primary school in Coast Province, in a school known as Momunga Primary. Then I cleared my class 8 in Savo Academy. Then I was admitted to Bura Girls High School. I think it's a national school in Coast Province. Then after that, I didn't clear Bura. I left Bura in Form 3 first term. I came to Ngong. I was in Brother Busang Catholic Education Center. It was a day school. Then after that, I went to Kenyatta University. Yes, where I did economics and finance.
All right.
Yes.
That's very good. Something happened at the cause of your whatever. And what is the background of your parents? They are Christians. They are who?
No, my parents are Christians. My dad is a pastor. He's a reverend. Yes. And my mom is also a pastor. So I grew up typically in a Christian background, strictly Christian background.
A pastor's daughter?
Yes. Yeah.
So what happened at the course of your learning, you being a Christian, something?
First of all, I was a very active girl in church. Then what happened after that, while I was in Form 2, I got pregnant. That was in December 2006. Then I went back to school. I didn't know I was pregnant. In fact, I didn't want to hear anybody tell me I'm pregnant. We will fight. So I went back to school. I cleared that first term. But then when I went back home, it now dawned to me that I was pregnant. We went with my mom. I got tested and I was confirmed. I was in school with 5 months pregnant and no one knew. Absolutely no one. The teachers, my friends, no one knew. But I went back home. Then when I realized I'm pregnant, now I had to stop going back to school. I had to be at home now with my parents, and it was very hard.
And now, talking of pregnancy, you are a daughter of your pastor, of a pastor, people who are very committed in the church.
Yes.
You have told us you are very active in the church. So what a contrast. Because how did you even meet a boyfriend in the first place? Yeah.
Oh,
and how did you even get to some issues, especially being pastor's kid?
First of all, I'll say my parents did all what they could. We were given tapes. We were taken to the camps, the Christian camps, and all that. But then I got into a relationship very early. As much as I didn't know what I was doing, let me say I didn't know. I was a little bit naive, if I may call it. But I got into a relationship very early. I was in class 7.
Class 7.
Yes,
That
I did.
you are around how many years?
13.
I think 13.
Yes. Yes.
And the kijana?
He was my age mate.
13.
Yes.
Quite interesting.
Yeah. So apparently when me with church I was active, but it was very hard. I remember the day that I had to accept I was pregnant. It was a part of the church concept, and it is written also in the Bible in James 1:5-6 that whenever you sin you're supposed to confess your sins. So I was told, and I knew that I had to confess. I had offended so many people, my dad being a pastor, and also the people around me. So I had to go and confess that I have sinned in front of the church and ask for forgiveness at the same time.
So allow me to take you back. So you fell pregnant when you were in high school or when you were in primary?
I was in high school.
In high school?
Yeah, Form 2 December. Yeah.
So what was your first reaction after you realized you were pregnant with such an environment and also with the whole education ahead of you? Yeah.
First of all, I felt like my dream was shattered. I felt
life
like
has become
life was very difficult to me personally. It was very hard, and I never thought my parents would give me another chance. And so the person who impregnated me, apparently he was a Muslim, and a staunch Muslim.
Muslim versus Christian?
Yes, he was.
What?
Yes, he was. So you can imagine now me getting pregnant, and I think it's the concept of a Muslim. When you impregnate a girl, you have to marry her. Yes. So the parents came. They wanted me to go with them, but my parents said no. So they told their parents that they'll want me to continue my education after giving birth. So they were ready to take care of me. Yes.
So the custom of Muslims, you have to be responsible.
Yes.
So you were to get married?
Yes, I was.
At Form 2? Yes. That one, you were very young.
Very young. I was very young. But
were you bitter with yourself? At one time, did you hate everything? Did you meet some friends who are giving you some options? You know, what was it all about?
On my side, it was hard. At the same time, I remember I had a friend who came and gave me 10,000 to go and abort.
What?
Yes, 10,000 shillings. And it was not a loan. It was money that he was giving me.
And that is a friend?
Yes, it's a friend.
She thought she was helping you?
Yes, yes. But I said no. It was 5 months. And then I was looking at the risk, and then the fact that what if something bad happens to me? My parents already know I'm pregnant, so what if I go and abort? It will be a bigger scandal than whatever it was. Okay. Yes.
And then the reaction of your mom, because I believe mothers are the people who always know that they are always the people who receive the news first, and then they break to your father actually. So what was the reaction of your mother?
Apparently my mother did not react. I think she was prepared psychologically or something.
Or maybe she had seen some signs.
Yes, maybe she had, but she was very calm. In fact, that day when we went to the doctor, it was the first time my mother had ever taken me to a very expensive hotel. So she took me, and then she told me, she didn't ask me, are you pregnant? She asked me, so who is the father? Now I knew.
So she already knew?
Yeah, she already knew. No, we were from the hospital now, confirmation that I'm pregnant. So when that happened, she told me who is the father, and after that, I didn't eat. I didn't eat what
even
she had
in
bought.
Such an expensive hotel.
Yes, I couldn't. I mean, how could you have an appetite?
By the way, you couldn't.
You can't have an appetite.
She told your father. So what was the reaction of your dad, the pastor? Yeah.
My dad was very harsh. Of course, no parent will be happy.
Okay.
First thing I knew, I had ashamed him. And then he used to go to those many secondary schools in Coast Province going to preach.
Yeah.
So here I am. He's going to preach, but his own family is a victim. So it was very hard for him. I remember we stayed for 1 week without seeing each other in the same house. I would ensure he goes out, then I wake up. Then when I think that he's coming back at 8, I'll ensure I sleep at 7, so that we don't meet in the course of the day or when he comes. Yes.
And when he spoke, what was the first word?
he told me, "You have decided to shame me."
Oh, yeah.
It was very bad. I think that was the day that I felt I've really done a bad thing. And then the way that I didn't want to see him all through. But now apparently I just had to ask for forgiveness. I asked him to forgive me. And he didn't respond immediately. He was quiet.
He was quiet.
He was quiet. Till the day I think we went to church after that, because it was around 1 month. So after that, it's when he confirmed that he has forgiven me and everything was okay.
So you went to the church?
Yes.
What happened?
The reason I went to the church was to reconcile. You know, many people will start looking at my father, you know, pointing
Especially
fingers
when
and
you
all
have
that.
grown bigger.
Yes. So I just had to go. Now, when the day I went to church, our church usually had 2 doors. There's one that's for coming, and then there's another exit.
Yeah.
So I knew I'll stand there, I'll say my words, then
You used the exit
yes,
one.
I used the exit one. So when I went and stood there, when I was finished, I wanted to get it. Then my dad came. He just got hold of me and said, "Jen is my daughter," in front of the church, and I have decided to forgive her. And
So that is after you confessed or
yes,
before?
after the day. That was the day that I was confessing.
So you stood in the church.
Yes, I did.
You admitted you are pregnant.
Yes.
What was the church reaction?
I remember after that, actually, by the way, after my dad, after he finished the announcement, immediately I went home because I couldn't stand. I was very emotional.
Yeah.
So after that, so many friends of mine came to our home telling me, "You are very courageous. Very few people will do that." And apparently, you know, we see sexual sin. It's the one that is everyone can see, but the other ones, you know, you go and steal, no one is seeing.
Because akushikwa ni hivyo.
Hivyo umeponea. So apparently that was but so many people saw it as a very courageous thing that I did. But after that, I got healed. I never felt bad. I never felt offended. I would walk with my belly anywhere. I mean, no one could tell me anything.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe we'll come to that, and we can leave it at after you confess to the church. And now, how did you carry on?
Okay.
Yeah. So don't go any far. We'll be right back. As a reminder, go to Facebook. Like our page, Auntie Trufena. You can also follow me on Twitter as Auntie Trufena. Jean will continue with her story, and you'll get to know that the end, what seems like to be the end of the life, it's not usually the end. There is a chance to continue. Thank you so much. We'll be right back after this break.